siya sa kanan ni Malit. I have everything in the car and we're ready to go. Hi everyone. So it is now in the evening. It's like 8:30 and I am back from the workshop that I did at Elizabeth and Joe, which is this beautiful, it's just such a beautiful bookshop. It reminds me of this film that I used to love to watch. Like I was always watching it. Whenever I was sick, it would be a comfort movie. It's with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. It's called You've Got Mail. And that bookshop in that film, I always loved. I always wanted to go to a bookshop right around the corner. That's the name of the bookshop in the movie. And I found it. There's one here, well, close by, in a town called Plougastel. Oh, it's such a lovely place. The energy is beautiful. They have a nice fireplace and a lovely sitting area where you can drink coffee or tea or hot chocolate and eat homemade cookies that are nice and gooey and chocolatey and just delicious. And the ladies that run this bookshop are wonderful. They're just wonderful. And so it was really cool to be able to do a workshop with kids there. Hopefully I will be doing more there because I really enjoyed it. But now I'm gonna be working on this guy. Now it's hard transition from nice and lovely to the world of weird. So clearly you can tell that this is a slug. That looks so funny. So this is a slug. I still need to cover its eyes and it still needs to dry. It's quite wet still here in the creases. There it's still dry, it's still wet. But I need to see if I can stretch it out a bit so it can dry. The bottom, it's still a bit wet. You can see the difference in color. This is also kind of wet. But this is dry, somewhat. This is wet. And well, I live in Brest, well, around abouts. And for things to dry here, it takes forever. So I need to find a position to have it lay out so this can dry properly. Probably have to like put it over here. Yeah, to put it like that. I'll show you guys in a minute how I have it. I am crammed in this little space here. There's no space. Like in order for me to move around, I need to move things against the wall and I have to like kind of inch the chair one way and like move my chair back. It's annoying. And so here's the shell that he puts on. I'm kind of coming up with a story. This is for another workshop that I'm going to be doing with a friend of mine. She makes puppets. She's a puppeteer. I'm friends with a puppeteer. That to me is like high up there. I'm cool. I'm so cool. I know a puppeteer and she's a friend. So my friend Sabina, she is one of the puppeteers that does this festival, yearly festival in Gilead. And I love going to it whenever I can. I've been to it once, I believe. I've known about it for 2 years and I was able to go 1 year. And this year, I really wanted to help in any facet because I would love to make puppets. I would love to be a puppeteer, but I don't have those talents. But I do like paper mache. And so we are going to be doing a workshop of creating the decoration for the festival. And she had this amazing idea. Blew me out of the water, like so amazing. It was a spider and it had a hook. It had like this little hook thing. And then she would put the head in there. And so then the head would move around like a puppet. Well, because she's a puppeteer. So she knows these tips and tricks on how to make puppets that I don't have. And so I thought it was just so cool. I'm like, oh my God, what if you were to create a creature that could just change its body parts? And so the first thing that came to mind was a slug who's not a snail and can't have its shell. But so it tries on different things because it wants to, see, that's the part that I'm still developing in the story. So far I have the damn German. I only have the name in German, Schneckenhaus, the shell of the slug. Yeah. And I still have this guy that I haven't finished, but I don't like the colors. It's an insect. I really like his wings and the paper that I used for his wings, but I don't like the colors that I chose for him. I just don't like it. I mean, the wings are pretty and they look really pretty in camera. And then I also have my little turtle that I never finished as well. I've painted him this like buff titanium, and I primed him here on his shell. But see, this is my problem. I get like so shocked by white that I just don't know, and then I do something like this and then it just sucks. But I really like this insect guy, and I really like using the metal, or the tired brain, the wire. I use the wire for his arms and for his legs. Oh, and I need to reinforce that. And so he can stand. He can stand if you position his legs properly. So yeah, so I used a different technique when creating these. I just love paper mache. And it makes me feel like a really cool puppeteer. So insane. So yeah, so I will be working on his eyeballs once he dries. And by him, I'm referring to Mr. Slug here. And I might be making something or other. We'll see. But that's my wacky update. Oh, and another thing, before I decide to film something else, is that it's almost Inktober. And by almost, I mean in like a week. And I haven't done anything to prepare. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I've just been working nonstop, literally, working really long hours. And so the only thing that I did do was create this little booklet with this nice spine, and I called it a collection of things because I couldn't come up with anything. So I'm like a collection of things. And the first drawing I did was the collector of things. You would think that it would be this crazy lady here, but I think it's this hand, this ill-drawn hand collecting a thing. That could be the collector of things. So I thought it would be a good way to just paint and do stuff. And this is on Archer's fine grain 300 gram paper, and that I haven't done anything with, or very, very little. And I really wanted to, because I enjoy painting on nice, delicious paper. I absolutely love it. And I used my black ink and drawing pen, and I love this. I love the noise it makes on the paper and everything. It's a joy to use. So what's my plan for Inktober? I don't have one. I don't have one. That's my plan. I will see. I'm looking at different lists and seeing if maybe something sparks, because of course me, I always have these grand ideas and then they're too grand and I can't fulfill them. I don't know. We'll have to see. But so that's the update. Okay, so it's the next day. Hi. It's the next day, and now I'm going to cover his eyeballs. But I'm not going to be using the craft paper, which this is leftover paper from my... This is leftover paper from a Jackson's order. I keep all the paper. I have like newspaper and different types of paper because I use them for either collage work or for paper mache, which you guys can look at. So I'm not going to do the eyes with this, but instead I have this like drawing paper, and it's cream. So I thought I was going to use that. And while I'm doing that, I'm listening to Emma Carlisle's, one of her posts, her like monthly update posts, and I always find that inspiring, and I enjoy listening to what other artists are doing, so that's what I'm doing. So I'll do a little bit of a time lapse now. Alright, so I finished the eyeballs. I gave it eyelids. So as you saw me, I first covered it in the cream colored paper, and then I went back on top with more craft paper. So it looks like eyeballs. So now I need to let it dry. The shell is almost all dry. And then I need to consider what other things I'm going to be adding onto this. Ah, that's cool. So I can put it on from the back. So see, that's what it looks like with its shell. It's not bad. And I'm not going to be painting it. We're going to be keeping it in this craft color, but I will be giving it some detail with tissue paper, colored tissue paper. So yeah, I had to reinforce here a bit, so I added more, so it's still wet there. And it kind of stinks. But I'm guessing once it dries, it'll be less smelly, because this here that's dry doesn't smell, but then that one area that's still wet smells. So I'm gonna set these over probably at my dining room table and let them dry. And then I'm going to continue on and do something else. Another thing that I wanted to share with you guys. So yesterday I had my workshop, and I really like to buy cheap materials at Action, not only to use but also my workshops, because I've noticed that if I use cheap materials, I don't care as much, versus like if I'm using my Holbein gouache, which are super expensive. So if I use these, I'm like, oh my god, it better be good, I don't want to waste them, and then I'm more critical about my work. But with cheap materials, I'm just like, whatever, let's have fun. So I have these are like, they're called silky crayons, and I have 3 different boxes of colors. And these are more like muted, but they're also metallic colors. So I have these, which I've used before. And then I got this, it's called a scrapbook. However, here it doesn't really say how many grams. Oh, 240 grams. So this is 240 grams, acid-free, 25 by 25, and there are 40 sheets. Now, I have used other sketchbooks from Action, and the paper doesn't really work well with wet materials, but I was thinking maybe with this 200 gram paper, and it feels nice. Let me show you. It's off-white, which you know I prefer. Nice and thick, very nice and thick. And so I thought, let me give it a shot. Why not? It costs like €2. I mean, it was super cheap. So I'm gonna give it a shot. So I thought I would swatch these. I think they activate with water, so I was gonna give it a try. I really like to smudge them. That's what I was doing in the workshop, to smudge and overlay. So I'm gonna grab the other 2 boxes. This one's a silver one. I have a blue one and a pink box, and let's swatch them out. Okay, so here are the 3 boxes. Shimmer Smooth, Rainbow Smooth, and Pastel Smooth. So let's do the Rainbow Smooth first. There's one material that I did buy in Action, and this was a couple of years ago, and I have not seen it since. It's the like Ecoline watercolors that come in glass containers with a dropper, and then you can either recharge the markers or just use it as they are. And so Action had an equivalent, and the colors were amazing, but I have never found them. So these are super creamy, and I really love neon, and they smudge beautifully, and I love it. I love it. So that's smudge. Now let's do one with water. I believe they were water activated. Let's grab this one. Oh no, let's grab this one. Yeah, they kind of do. This paper seems to be holding up nicely. So I'm gonna have to get another one of these. That's the green. The neon. Oh, I just love smudging. See how it does. Yes, nice. Just a little bit, which is cool. So not fully, but quasi. I mean, look at that beautiful smudge. I don't know where my cloth is. Where did my cloth go? Huh. Things get lost here. Ah, found it. Nice. That one was a nice one. Now we have this like fuchsia. And you can layer these on top of each other. My kids also love using them. The pink. That's a nice smudge too. Yeah, so that not all are great with water. It's just a little bit of a tint that comes. So that's a good smudge. That's one. Let's do the pastels. I'm not a big fan. I think this pink is the same as the other one. Of all the colors in the shimmer packet. Yeah, I think there are a couple of repeats. I really like these pastels. I like this yellow. It's like a burnt ochre, yellow ochre. And this one's a bit dry. Oh, that smudge was nice. Ay, ay, ay. That's a nice blue. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get another of these sketchbooks. Okay, not bad. So that was the pastel one. Now let's do this one, which is the glitter, which I'm not excited about. I'm not a big fan of glitter. So, oops. So these three are similar, I want to say. I think this one's different. This pink, yeah, it's more of a blush pink. That one's not going to be really water activated, you can tell, yeah. Then we have the orange. It is raining on and off today. That's a really beautiful orange. I like that. I wonder if there are any rainbows. Because you have a little bit of sunlight, but the sun is kind of hidden by the clouds. This is similar to that one. Light gray. This one here is darker. This one's nice and light. It's nice. Just wonder how watercolor would react with these. Like if I were to do a layer of this and then on top watercolor. Well, obviously not the black, but oh. But if I were to do like a yellow or blue, I wonder what would happen. Let's see, let's do a bit of this. And I'll smudge it. Now let me get a bit of watercolor. It's the first palette I grabbed. Let's grab the red. Yeah, it doesn't really want to stay on top. Like it avoids it. I mean, you kind of see it. Let's see if I would. Do one area wet, and then what happens if I use this? Ooh, that's cool. If I do it without water, it also smudges nicely. It's more like a violet purple. be mixed nicely together. So those are the 3 color packs that they had available at my action, the one that's closest to me. To wait for that to dry. And this paper is pretty nice. You see a bit of the water. Here I used a lot of water, so it was buckling a bit, but that's okay. That also happens in my Royal Talons. It's quite all right, but it seems to be going well. Let's try some ink on this page. Let's see how it goes with ink. Let's do pure ink. It seems to be fine. Do darker ink. And another thing that didn't do well, fine. Another thing that would be writing. Seems to be fine as well. Good, good. Okay. So I'm just gonna play around in it and just play around. Maybe do some studies of something, because I don't really have a lot of time. Alright, so I finished my drawing, or illustration really. It's a whole bunch of mushrooms, and I really enjoyed just putting some color down and kind of thinking about where the mushrooms are and even doing some outlines and then completely disregarding it and using my ink drawing pen. And I really liked it. I think it turned out quite nicely. And it is a collection of things after all, so not bad, not bad. So let's see what else will appear in this collection of things. Okay guys, so I am going to end the video here. I will see you next time. Bye. Oh, and I will be doing Inktober, so let's see how often I can post.